Hello everyone, this is Bentley, and Tank of the Week's going to be a little different this week. If you are watching this the day this releases, it is Christmas Day. So, for those of you who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. For the rest of you, Merry Christmas anyway. Why not? I wanted to do something a little different for a number of reasons. As we're getting toward the end of the year, we're about to walk into an entirely new decade. Whatever, it's 2020. It's next year. We've done 20 weeks of Tank of the Week if you discount and ignore this one. We've done recent giveaway, and there's a lot of stuff that I kind of wanted to catch up with. Just kind of talk to you guys real fast. And then I ask for your help. I need your help making a very important decision for what you guys get to watch, this channel, I guess my life for like the next at least 6 months, maybe a year. So let's dive into the first part. The Fluval giveaway. I haven't been contacted by too many people yet, so I know sometimes you don't get really good notifications when someone replies to your comment. So I just wanted to take a second, read off my list that's on the community tab. That way all the winners will hear their names, hopefully in this video, and you can then email me at bentley.pascoe@gmail.com. It's going to be down in the description. It's up here on the screen. Shoot me an email so that I can get in touch with you and get your prize out to you. Get your fish some sweet, sweet food. So let me go through those real fast, and then we'll go to next year and where I need your guys' help. So first off, Shelby Ray Lane, you won the Tropical Small. Jake Betts, your names will come up on screen too. You won the Tropical Medium. Green Sorceress 01K. You won the Goldfish. Sushi Berry, you won the Cichlid. Baseball Bat Dad, you won the Color Enhancing Formula, which I'm an old school baseball person, so I love your name. Teresa Harper, you won Bottom Feeder. You've been super active in the comments recently. I just want to say a little side thanks. I had a prize for outside the U.S., a little Amazon gift card for people to buy food that might not be able to, that I can't ship to, but I still wanted to give the akin of a thing of Fluval food away. So that went to Sidefish. Just shoot me an email and I'll get you an Amazon gift card for the same value it would cost me to buy one here in the United States. And then we had two of the big bags left over that the people who I originally wanted to give them to said, "Don't worry about it, man. We just love your content. We're so happy we could help. You keep them." And well, in the spirit of giving, I wanted to give them away regardless. So Ginger Graves, I know you've already contacted me by the time you see this. It should be in the mail. That's the Tropical Medium Large. And Floyd Conrad, you won the big bag of cichlid food. So thank you to all those folks. It was really fun doing this. I know, and like, disclaimer, all of the food was provided to me. I did not pay for it. It was given to me by Fluval. So technically, it's a sponsored video. We have to get that out for the FTC. So yes, FTC, that was a sponsored video. And this giveaway was sponsored. It's not a contest. It's a giveaway. Blah, blah, all the legal stuff. You guys know the usuals. Just thank you so much. We've surpassed 5,000 subscribers on the channel, which... yeah, it's one of those things where I'm always surprised every time that every little milestone happens. But thank you. Sincerely, thank you. It's been phenomenal last year. So let's get into where I need your help. And if you saw this on the community tab, you're basically going to get 2 votes. But I recognize that like 100 votes for something this big might not be enough, and I know not a lot of people watch the community tab. So here's the deal. We've done 5 months of Tank of the Week. We've gone through nearly every tank of the house, and after this little interlude episode, there will be a couple more episodes of Tank of the Week. We got a couple more tanks to cover in the Raising Rack. We definitely have an update on Bob coming along because there's some interesting stuff happening in that tank. And then we'll basically be through every tank in the house, and there's not really too many major updates coming for those tanks, so it would almost feel redundant to kind of keep going back through them. And we've done it for 5 months. I felt like it was kind of one of those things where it will get basically 6 months of Tank of the Week by the time this is all said and done. And I thought, hey, maybe it's good to poll you guys and find out what you would like. If you want me to keep doing Tank of the Week, we'll keep doing Tank of the Week. If we want to do something different, here's our options. So up in the corner, there's going to be a poll here shortly. Please, please, please participate. Vote in that. Let me know what you would like to see. we have a lot of options, to be precise. So number one is stay with Tank of the Week exactly as we've been doing it. Just no changes, keep going. That's what we like to see. That's what I want to keep seeing. Cool. Number two, we'll transition to a weekly series, still like a midweek video, but instead of exclusively Tank of the Week, have kind of some rotating themes. So maybe for a little while it'll be like just some quick pro tips, or pro tips. I'm not really a pro, but you know what I mean. And maybe it'll be a kind of mini series on a particular topic. I have a bunch of different ideas in my head. And I don't want to commit to a single one because I don't think any given one is going to be like 6 months worth of content. But I think having short, kind of easy to digest videos, I'm going to try to keep these like around really close to the 10-minute mark. Try not to go like 20 and 25 minutes on those midweek videos for you guys. That's the design of these. That'll also be easier to edit on my side, which makes it a little more easy to make sure they get out to you. It's one thing for Tank of the Week that has been challenging is the amount of content some weeks that I have to edit has been really fun with my schedule, but it's been a fun challenge and it's made me learn stuff. Option 3, a weekly live stream. So we would replace the video in the middle of the week with a live stream each week. Probably be like a Tuesday or Thursday thing, just because that's what is most likely to be able to be forced into my schedule. If it is Tuesday, which is honestly the easiest day for me, and I don't want to like step on other people's schedules because like Wednesday, Monday, Friday, these are all really popular days for a lot of the other fish fam out there to stream. I don't want to do that. I want to pick a day that there's not as many. That way there's no, I don't want to ever have anybody feel like I'm butting in on their stream time or something like that. I think it's important that we kind of spread it out as best we can. But if we do Tuesdays, there's a chance that, or not a chance, rather 1 week out of each month, I will be at my fish club. So you would have like an edited video that week instead of a stream, or some kind of a similar pre-recorded content. Thursday would be fine. We'll see how it works out. I'm trying to still figure out some scheduling stuff on my end, where I can basically force time into my schedule differently for how I work to make sure I get home on time to do a stream at a reasonable hour so it's not too late. That just basically requires me to go into work extremely early and leave slightly earlier so that I get home because traffic is a nightmare in the Seattle area. And the fourth option, which so far on the poll on the community tab has done surprisingly well, and I'm kind of surprised, but we'll see when the rest of you vote how it really turns out. And that would be to drop the second video per week. So you'd only have the video every Saturday, just one video a week. But I would take that extra time that is normally used creating, filming, editing, all that stuff for a second video, and put that toward a more massive project. So some examples here would be, we talked about on the last live stream, the November live stream, about how I had this idea in my head and I was going to see if I could make it happen, about creating a web accessible master aquatic horticulturalist program. So very similar to how my local club and several other local clubs put together a program for both like breeding and master, usually horticulture of some form for doing aquatic plants. I would create a program online that would allow folks to basically go through steps, have a little bit of education in there as well, and get themselves basically the same rank of master aquatic horticulturalist under a system that tells you, like, if you've done this much stuff, you're ready rather to have that kind of title attached to yourself. For those of you who can't go to fish clubs or your fish club doesn't have a plant program, this is something I've just been thinking about, and because it's web-based, it really wouldn't have to rely on being exclusive to the United States. It can be very much worldwide, so anyone could participate. It could be very, very fun. There's a lot of work, I will be clear here, in order to get this together. There's a lot of programming code work that would have to be done in order to create a module that could track all of these things and some other stuff where it comes to like data hosting. Because one of the things in order to do that is it would require, if you were like, let's say you entered the program and it might have to cost a little bit of money, if only because of how much it costs to run a website and to buy server space, which would be important. I'm not sure. Like, this is all stuff I have to research, so ignore basically that portion of it, but understand that it might cost a small amount of money to enter, and that would just be so that we can pay for like whatever necessary services there are to keep it running. So basically, it would be like you would log in, you'd have a thing that lets you add a plant or a tank, and you would put in the plant's name and the tank parameters that it's in, your fertilizer, your light, and if you're using CO2 or not, and then you would have the picture that you would have to submit, because we'd have to have pictures in order to prove this stuff. Clubs can do it a little differently, because a lot of times you'll have a club member that can vouch who goes over that person's house, or there's kind of an honor system. But I think to do this right, you'd have to do it with pictures. So you'd have a picture of when you first planted it, and then you'd have a second picture for the first propagation. So this first time you got it big enough to where you could propagate whatever that plant is into 2, so doubling your amount. And then you'd have a second propagation, and then you'd have an extra picture if you ever flowered the plant. Because I think if you can flower plants, it's a different thing. It's really important to track that as well. This is very similar to what my club does. I mean, a little different, but because it's similar, it's an easy system for me to build as far as knowing how the points are supposed to work and things like that. However, in order to, I can't just use my club's software. I would have to use something very different, because the club software is not designed the way I want things designed in my head as far as triggering events and things like that. And it's not modular in order to make this big change. So it would be something I'd have to design from the ground up. And while I, as a software test engineer, yes, I do know some code. I don't really delve into web code very often. So it would be something I'd have to work with some of my friends, and it might involve paying some of my friends in order to get some help doing this project. So, and there's some other projects I have in my head as far as like long-term kind of projects. And it would be one of those things where I would probably have you guys vote on what you wanted me to do. So again, I'll recap, and then the vote will show up in the corner. Option 1, we just stay with Tank of the Week as is. We keep doing Tank of the Week every week. That's a midweek video, typically Wednesday. The day might change for 2020, but so far it's been fine. Option 2, we change to a different weekly series. This will still be kind of a short video, targeted around 10 minutes. Could be pro tips, could be a small like multi-episode series on a particular lesson. Kind of like in last week's video, how I taught you guys about light. You could have something like that, but it would be broken down, so it was a couple of like 10 to 12 minute videos, something like that. Real easy to digest and understand. Option 3 would be a weekly live stream. So that would probably occur either Tuesday or Thursday. It would be for 1 hour-ish. I mean, if we go over, we go over. But it would not be like the current monthly live streams where it'd be 2 hours apiece. And then, of course, if we're doing a weekly live stream, the monthly live stream goes away, and you'll have an extra edited video every month instead of having the live stream on Saturdays. So you still have you're always going to have the Saturday video no matter what. And then finally, option 4, the second midweek video is gone, or live stream. We would only do the Saturday videos, and I would dedicate a lot of that time toward a much larger project, whether that is the Master Aquatic Horticulturist program, doing some form of other larger educational program. I've got some other stuff in my head. One of the things I thought about writing a book. As funny as it is, like trying to turn a lot of my plant knowledge into a book that would be something that you guys could get as a PDF. And that would take time, of course, in order to write and edit and get pictures to show everything. I've seen some fantastic books out there that are not incredibly large, and there's lots of self-publishing companies out there that make it easier. But this is an example of one of the larger projects that, with my current schedule, I just don't have time for, other than like some very brief, like, how much would it cost to run a website? I could look that up in my spare time. But, putting it all together, doing some of the code work and some of the design work, that's a little harder to pull off unless I outsource it, and then that requires a bunch of money out of pocket. So those are your 4 options. Please, please, please vote. I really appreciate hearing from everyone. And I mean, let me know down in the comments too, like, I voted for this and here's why. That's what I would love to hear from you guys, is here's what I voted for. Let me explain why. Or maybe it's just like, hey man, I love all your options. maybe the fifth is just like, well, maybe I'll put a fifth option as just like, I don't care. But no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make you pick one. Pick one, please, because I really want to know what interests you the most. Tell me down in the comments. I really want to know like why you voted that way. I really value the feedback that I get from you folks. It's part of, I think, like the community that we have as far as the Fish Fam and my channel specifically. It's just really wonderful to have that back and forth with you folks and be able to interact with you. You guys are all so wonderful. I've got lots of stuff like on my plate that I plan to do, but a lot of it takes time to do some testing. So like the test with the Zis filters I talked about with the bright water versus the kind of K1 columnist media, that's coming up. I actually have a meeting with the founder of Bright Water here soon. They want to talk to me a little bit about like some of their other products and some of the stuff that's coming up, just because they are local. So it's an opportunity. We're just going to sit down at dinner. We're just going to chat a little bit. I reached out to my rep and was just like, hey, we met back here and I was hoping I could get some X and maybe give some away. And they were like, yeah, that sounds really cool. That sounds really fun. We'd love to sit down and talk with you, tell us some new stuff. And one of my viewers sent me this cool light from a Canadian company that is available on Amazon. It's actually a really good budget option. They're not terribly expensive. And from looking at it initially, actually looks like a really nice light for how cheap it is as far as like how much it costs you to purchase. That's actually like over there on my couch. I'm filming this like shortly after opening it. And so I'm replacing that light on a different tank, and I'm going to test that thing pretty thoroughly for a few months and get you feedback on that. Maybe I should talk about it ahead of time and then give you feedback on it later, but we'll see how I film stuff. And there's some other videos that like people have suggested in comments that I think are really awesome that I want to get done. So lots of stuff coming up. I'm really looking forward to the new year. Again, Merry Christmas to all of you. I hope that you have a phenomenal new year. There's also something really new and cool that is showing up New Year's Eve. Just as a spoiler, I'll tell you that it's I'm gonna need a very large tank soon for this particular species. So yeah, I'm gonna let you guys just kind of think, and we'll figure that out. It's very very long, very broad. He's big tank potentially. You'll see. Promise you, it'll be fun. But something new coming into my house that I'm really looking forward to. And just thank you guys. I really appreciate everything. I love your feedback. Again, if you appreciate the opportunity to directly influence the creators you work with and the content they do, like how I'm doing with this poll, please hit that like button for the magic YouTube algorithm so that YouTube goes like, hey, maybe we'll keep putting this guy's videos somewhere so other people see it. Of course, share. If you share, that's awesome. If you can't stand the fact that I won't shut up about how much I love this community, and I'm looking forward to having you help me do content, you can hit that thumbs down twice. I'll understand. That way I know you can't stand this. You're just the one guy who always gives me the thumbs down every video. I know you're my biggest fan. It's okay. I can't help but laugh at that every time I think about it. It's just something that makes me smile because it lets me know like I've done it. I got somewhere on YouTube. I have the one person who dislikes every video. It's the best. It's how you really know in YouTube that you've made that next level from like complete nobody to just barely known by like a few people. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay awesome.